There's a driver in the NASCAR Cup Series right now that has the entire garage nervous, and he hasn't even hit his best track yet, Shane Van Gisbergen. Most NASCAR fans call him SV. And heading into the DuraMax Texas Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas, he is the heavy favorite. Not just a contender, the favorite. And when you understand why, you'll see exactly why everyone else in that garage should be worried. Shane Van Gisbergen is from New Zealand. He built his entire racing career on road courses, tracks that twist and turn both left and right, with sharp corners, elevation changes, and technical sections that demand a completely different skill set than your typical NASCAR oval. Before he ever set foot in a full-time NASCAR Cup Series car, SVG was already a legend in Australian supercars racing. He won 3 championships there. He was the guy everyone in that series feared on any given weekend. His car control, his ability to push a car right to the very edge without going over it, that's what made him special. Then, in 2023, something happened that shocked the NASCAR world. SVG made his Cup Series debut at the Chicago Street Course, a road course, and he won on his very first try. A driver who had never competed in a full Cup Series season walked in, raced on a street circuit, and beat everyone. That's not normal. That almost never happens. Now he's running full-time with Trackhouse Racing. And the question everyone is asking is simple. Just how good can this guy get? Before we get to COTA, we need to talk about what SVG had to go through to get here. Starting with the Daytona 500, SVG was actually running inside the top 5 at the halfway point of the race, which told you everything about his speed. But Daytona doesn't care about speed. It cares about survival. A massive wreck swept up a large portion of the field, and SVG was one of the drivers caught in it. Just like that, his day was over. SVG qualified 13th at Daytona, led 3 laps, and ran inside the top 10 for stretches before getting caught up in someone else's wreck. He finished 30th. That earned him just 12 championship points, dropping him all the way to 28th in the standings. On a track like Daytona, that's just how it goes sometimes. You can do everything right and still end up paying for someone else's mistake. That's the cruel reality of superspeedway racing. It's not always about who's the best driver, it's about who's still standing when the checkered flag falls. Then came Atlanta, and this is where things got really interesting. SVG started the race in 28th and finished stage 1 in 34th as he battled the balance of his number, 97 Chevrolet. Not a great start, but SVG didn't panic. He kept working. He kept pushing forward. By stage 2, he had climbed all the way into contention for a top 5 finish. Then, in the final corner of the stage, he tried to pass Kyle Larson for 3rd place, and Larson came all the way down the track and drove straight into him. SVG spun wildly into the infield, while Larson crashed into the outside wall, ending Larson's day. The 2-time NASCAR Cup Series champion took full responsibility for the incident, saying, "I hung a quick left and ran right into him. Nothing anybody else did wrong besides me. All on me." Here's what makes that moment even more impressive. Even after getting spun into the grass, SVG still salvaged a stage 2 point by finishing 10th in the stage. He got hit, went sideways, and still came out of it with points on the board. That's not luck. That's a driver who knows how to keep his head when everything is going wrong around him. SVG got going again, but the drama wasn't over. Later in the race, he spun on his own coming out of turn 4, went back through the infield grass, and lost a ton of positions. 2 separate trips off track. Most drivers would have faded at that point, not SVG. Strategy then brought SVG back into contention. Pitting for fresh tires during a late caution allowed him to restart inside the top 10 for overtime. He found his Trackhouse Racing teammate Ross Chastain, who pushed him forward in the 3-wide battle, and at the white flag he was running 4th. In the final corner, he got shuffled back, but 6th at the checkered flag was still enough to make history. It beat his previous best oval result of 10th at Kansas last fall. A career-best oval finish after 2 spins, after starting 28th. That's the kind of drive that makes people take notice. And the points, they were massive. SVG now sits in a tie for 15th in the standings, with 45 points to his name. That one race vaulted him from 28th right onto that crucial playoff bubble. And that matters enormously right now because at the end of race 26, the top 16 drivers in the standings will advance into the chase after NASCAR reconfigured its championship format for 2026. SVG went from nearly outside the conversation to sitting right on that bubble in just one weekend. After the race, SVG was already thinking ahead. He told reporters, "It's just points accumulation this year for us. We just need to be scoring points each week. It's good to get that underway now. We'll be in the 2nd qualifying group next week, which really helps being in a good qualifying group on the road course. Feeling good. We've got some good momentum." Circuit of the Americas is not a regular NASCAR track. It's a full-grade road course in Austin, Texas. It has 20 turns, elevation changes, tight chicanes, long sweeping corners. It's the kind of track that separates drivers who are truly skilled from drivers who are just good on ovals. Most NASCAR drivers have spent their whole careers turning left. Road courses are something they've had to learn on the fly. Some have gotten very good at it. Drivers like Chase Elliott have made road course wins a big part of their identity. But for SVG, road courses aren't something he learned late. They're what he's done his whole life. When SVG gets behind the wheel at COTA, he's not adjusting. He's not figuring things out. He is in his natural environment. Every corner, every braking zone, every technical section of that track is something he has trained for over an entire career. That's why Trackhouse Racing isn't just hoping for a good result at COTA. They are preparing to unleash him. The team has been building toward moments exactly like this one, putting SVG on a track where his talent can fully take over, and the rest of the Cup Series garage knows it. Here's the thing about being the favorite at a NASCAR race. It changes how everyone else races against you. When the field lines up at COTA and SVG is in that Trackhouse Racing car, every other team has to think about him. Strategy calls change. Drivers who might normally race aggressively have to consider that SVG is going to be fast, consistently fast, all race long. He's not just going to be quick in qualifying, he's going to manage his tires well. He's going to nail his braking points. And when it matters most, he's going to be right there. The Cup Series garage is full of talented drivers, but road course specialists at SVG's level are rare in this series. That's what makes him dangerous.